Hey guys, welcome back. Today is the last day of our boot camp for the week. And we're just gonna use everything we learned this week to actually, use it in today's test. You guys have a test on the properties of matter unit, and you'll be taking this test on SchoolNet. So I just want you guys to actually use the 3 strategies I gave you earlier this week in your test today. Remember, the first one was if you feel nervous, if you feel overwhelmed, take a break, breathe, relax, take a deep breath. If you want, close your eyes for a minute, come back to the question, or take a walk around your home, come back to the question, or just get up from your chair, stretch a little, sit back down. Whatever you feel is needed to get out of that stressful mindset and become more fresh. Okay, that was my first tip for you guys. The second tip was that I want you guys to read the entire question. I'm so sorry, that was my alarm, but my second tip for you guys was to read the entire question. Even if you feel like you have no idea what that person is talking about or what the instructor is talking about, read it, because chances are after you read it you'll be like, oh, I know what you mean. Or even with the options that they provide you, don't pick the first one you see that seems like the answer. Read through all of the 4 options. Even if you know the right answer, read through it. You never know, right? Because a lot of the times you're just missing the instruction, or you're just missing the point. And it's not your fault. It's just exams can be stressful. So it happens. So take your time, read through the question. If you don't understand it, read it again. No one is going to stop you. And my third tip for you guys, which I will demonstrate in a while, was sometimes if you don't know how to solve a problem, you can use the options that are given to you to kind of figure out the answer. By plugging in those numbers in the options, you can find out if the equation or the formula works. And we're going to look at how we're going to demonstrate all of these traits or all of these 3 characteristics or tips into our test taking. Now, first of all, oh wow, so number 11 already makes me very nervous. I've never done anything like this. I'm stressed. I'm going to take a deep breath. Okay, let's look at the question again. Let's not be overwhelmed or nervous. If I don't know, I'll just move on. But let's read through it. 11. Sodium sulfate and barium chloride react with each other to form sodium chloride and barium sulfate as shown. We have 3 images here. We have sodium sulfate solution in this test tube and the barium chloride solution. They mix it together, and now we have sodium chloride and barium sulfate all together in this beaker. Now, which statement most accurately describes the mass of the reactants compared to the mass of the products? Okay, even though in the beginning I had no idea what these things is about, now that I read this, I know what they're talking about. They're talking about law of conservation of mass. Okay, now let's read through it. Option A, the mass of the reactants is the same as the mass of the products. A lot of you would be like, that's the answer, I'm going to pick that. Sure, but first, read through the rest of the options as well. There's nothing wrong with confirming and double checking. I'm going to read through option B anyway. The products have a greater mass because matter was created during this reaction. The reactants have a greater mass because some of the mass was converted to heat. The reactants have a greater mass because some matter was destroyed by the reaction. Okay, so I just basically confirmed my guess that A was the right answer indeed. Because there's law of conservation of mass, we know that the reactants and products should weigh the same. So the right answer is A. Now I can move on to the next question. Now this is where my tip from yesterday comes into place, where I said you can plug in the answers to find out what the plug in the options given to you to find out what the real answer is. For example, let's see, I plug 1 and 2 from option A. 1 goes here, 2 goes here. That means I have 1 PB. If I have 1 PB on the left side, I should also have 1 PB on the right one. But as you can see, it's 2, which means option A is not the right answer, and you can also remove option B because again, it has 1 as the answer. Let's look at option C. We put 2 here and 2 here. Now, we multiply 2 with PB, which means there's only 2, literally, which is right. There's 2 PB on both sides. 2S, or sulfur. Here, on this side, seems like there's 2S. Sounds good. The other option for here was number 2 as well, which means 2 multiplied by 2 is 4, which means there should be 4 oxygen on both sides. There's 4 on the left, there's 2 here, and there's 2 multiplied by 2, which is 4 here, which means there's actually 6 on the right. So that's not the right answer, so I'm going to move on to the next one. Plug 2 here and plug 3 here. Again, I'm sorry for my alarm, but now you see that by plugging these options, you can find out what the right answer is, even if you don't know how to actually solve this problem. Not saying you shouldn't learn it, I'm just saying if you're in that, in that pin situation, you can use this option. Again, this is a bit time consuming, so please be mindful of that, and maybe leave this question to the end where you can come back and do it again. So I hope you guys will use these strategies and implement them in your test taking today. All I can say is good luck. Reach out to me if you have any questions. Bye.